Glad to have you with us here on Seahawks Today. Tyler Jones here. The folks at Bleacher Report have put out a list projecting all the starting lineups for all 32 teams across the National Football League, including your Seattle Seahawks. What we're going to do on today's show is we're going to show you what Bleacher Report is projecting for Seattle's Week 1 lineup. And we're going to react to it, give our takeaways, tell you what we agree with, what we disagree with, and look at some of the key position battles and more coming up on today's show. Before we do, if you want the Seahawks to make the playoffs, I need you to like today's video. Don't jinx it. I've been told that the Seahawks will not make the postseason if you don't like today's video. Why even risk it? Why take a chance on that? Do your part. Like the video. Don't jinx it. Let's get to the postseason. The run to the playoffs begins right now. Hit the like button. We'll get started with today's show. Let's begin with the outlook from Bleacher Report on the Seahawks and Mike Macdonald heading into year number 1 in Seattle. Here is what Alex Valentine had to say. Mike Macdonald has big shoes to fill in Seattle, but he also has the talent on paper to make an immediate impact. The offense is largely the same as last season, except for the interior offensive line. There are some questions there. However, the defense is revamped in a way that Macdonald should have success right away. Byron Murphy II is a disruptor on the interior, an intriguing match with Leonard Williams. Tyrel Dodson and Jerome Baker are an athletic pairing in the middle. There's some young talent in the secondary. Rick Woolen and Devin Witherspoon could be foundational pieces in the right system. Here's the deal. When it comes to the Seahawks heading into 2024, faces have changed, but expectations don't. The Seahawks are coming off back-to-back 9-8 seasons where they've been right in the middle of the pack, right? One year that resulted in making the playoffs. One year it resulted in just barely missing the playoffs. And the Seahawks team last season, the reason why Pete Carroll is not the head coach right now is because they underachieved. They had the talent to be a playoff team, and they were not last year. So now it's up to Mike Macdonald to get this team over the hump. So here is who Bleacher Report is projecting for the Seahawks starting lineup for Week 1 when Seattle takes on the Denver Broncos at Lumen Field. Starting on offense, Geno Smith at the quarterback position. At running back, Kenneth Walker III. At wide receiver, DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. No surprises with those there. Now, some of you are going to say, what about Sam Howell? Is this a quarterback competition? Is there any way that Sam Howell could start Week 1 over Geno Smith? And there's no reason to expect that Sam Howell will start over Geno Smith. Barring some injury of some sorts that happens between now and Week 1, Geno will be your guy. But I'm not ruling out seeing Sam Howell at some point this year. We've seen Geno get banged up a bit. We've seen Geno struggle at times as well. The leash is not going to be long on Geno Smith with this coaching staff. They haven't given him ringing endorsements, right? And so with that in mind, what I would expect is that if Geno goes down, Sam Howell will get an opportunity. If Geno struggles or if this team is out of contention, Sam Howell will get his chance because the Seahawks have to see what they have in Sam Howell and figure out if he's their quarterback of the future or not. Our pinned comment today, who's the better quarterback right now? Are you going with Geno or are you going with Sam Howell? Let us know in the comments section. Type GS for Geno Smith. Type SH for Sam Howell. Let me know which one it is. Today's show is sponsored by Prize Picks. Prize Picks, the place to go for daily fantasy made easy. Here's how it works. Choose 2 or more players on any given category. Get the choice of more or less, whether you're talking rebounds in basketball, goals in hockey. I'm excited about the PGA Championship this week. I'm going to be checking out the birdies chart that they have there for the golf side of things. Also looking ahead to the start of the NFL season. DK Metcalf with more than 1,025.5 receiving yards. I think he can hit that. I think Lamar Jackson can hit the more on 3,600.5 passing yards. Let's say we put $20 down on this. That turns into $60 on Prize Picks. Play along with me. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Promo code CLNS for that $100 deposit match on your first entry. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. Prize Picks, proud partner of Seahawks Today. Glad to have them on board here on today's show. JSN will be your starting slot receiver. No surprise there. Noah Fant is the number one tight end, not sharing that role like he did previously with Will Dissly. It is his position, and he's being paid a big chunk of change to do so. Charles Cross starting out at the left tackle position for Seattle, while Laken Tomlinson is who Bleacher Report is projecting the Seahawks start at the left guard position. Now, I'll say this. I expect JSN to take a big jump forward in 2024. I think he's going to have more receiving yards and more catches than Tyler Lockett does. I think he's going to show that he's the receiver of the future of this Seahawks team, that it's he and DK going forward here. Now, Noah Fant, pressure's on Noah Fant this year because the previous regime ignored the tight end position, right? I think Noah Fant is going to insert himself and show why he can be a top 10 tight end in this league and is going to play a pivotal role in this offense. Those are two guys that have my attention as far as that goes. Then we go to the interior of the offensive line. Olu Owatimi expected to be the starting center. Anthony Bradford at right guard. I disagree with that one. More on that in just a second. And then Abraham Lucas back after a injury-riddled 2023. Some concerns about that knee, how much that's going to hold up, but at least he's expected to start the season there at right tackle. I disagree with Bleacher Report's idea that Bradford will be starting over Christian Haynes. When I look at these two young talents, I think that Haynes has a higher upside than Anthony Bradford does. I think he's just better at the position. You compare what they did in college, and obviously the NFL game is different and everything. Haynes did everything better than Anthony Bradford. And Anthony Bradford was kind of a rough go of it, if you will, of the sample size that we saw of him as a rookie. So I would expect Haynes over Bradford, but going to be very competitive to see who's going to be that starting right guard. And don't rule out this possibility, folks. Maybe if they both perform well in camp and in the preseason, maybe it ends up being Laken Tomlinson, who's the odd man out, and both these guys start at the guard positions for Seattle. I don't think that's impossible. Who is starting at right guard? Do you agree with me, or do you agree with Bleacher Report? If it's Anthony Bradford, type AB. If you agree with me, and it's Christian Haynes, type CH for Christian Haynes. Let us know in the comment section below. Let's talk defense now. That is where we find Boye Mafe starting at the edge rusher position. Leonard Williams at defensive tackle. Byron Murphy, the rookie out of the University of Texas, the first-round pick, starts at defensive tackle as well. Uchenna Nwosu at the edge rusher position. Now, you may have noticed, you didn't see Jaron Reed there. You did not see Draymond Jones mentioned there. They're not just going to magically disappear. There has not been a spell put on them by the Wicked Witch of the West where they're just going to be gone. All right? I would still expect those guys, even if they're not starters, if you will, to still play a crucial role on this Seahawks defense. I think they're both going to be heavily involved, even if it's rotational pieces. I think Jonathan Hankins is going to be a key fixture to this Seahawks defense. And I really like the direction of the front seven, where this group is going from here. A lot of reason to be optimistic. That position group should be much improved from what it was in 2023. Tyrel Dodson at the linebacker position. He is expected to be the green dot. We've heard that from Mike Macdonald. He'll be paired up next to Jerome Baker, who the Seahawks brought over from the Miami Dolphins. Both of them significant upgrades when it comes to coverage compared to what we saw with Jordan Brooks and Bobby Wagner last year. Mike Jackson projected to be the starting outside corner along with Reek Woolen. Bleacher Report projecting that Jackson will beat out Trey Brown for that position. A lot of competition for the starting outside corner spot. I think Mike Jackson is the favorite, but I'm not counting out Trey Brown. We've seen Trey Brown have his moments. You look back at that Detroit Lions game last year, he was absolutely fantastic. And Trey Brown is more than capable of being a starter caliber corner in this league on the outside. I think that the loser of the competition might end up getting traded because there's enough teams that need help with the corner spot that the Seahawks might get an offer where the loser leaves town, if you will. Also, on the Seahawks starters, according to Bleacher Report, Devin Witherspoon at the nickelback spot. That's expected, kind of a roamer of sorts. He'll be kind of having free reign to do his thing. Rayshawn Jenkins at the safety spot comes over from the Jacksonville Jags. This was my favorite signing of the entire offseason. Very underrated player, a turnover machine. Watch out for Rayshawn Jenkins to have a good season for the Seattle Seahawks. And then Julian Love, coming off his first Pro Bowl appearance. He was, without a doubt, the Seahawks' best safety last year. Outplayed Quandre Diggs and Jamal Adams by a mile. I think he'll build off of that. I love the depth of the secondary. This is going to be one of the most improved groups from last season. I think that they're going to be a lot of fun to watch, and especially with some of these high-powered offenses, this group will be able to hold up their own. I think you're going to like what you see from them in 2024. How would you grade the Seahawks starting lineup? If that's what the Seahawks go with week 1, how do you think this group is going to stack up? Grade it for me, A, B, C, D, or F. What do you think? I go B+. It's good, but it's not great. I'll go B+. I think that's a fair grade. Give me your grade in the comments section. If you enjoyed today's show, like the video, hit that like button. We certainly would appreciate it. Want to do our part to make sure the Seahawks make the postseason in 2024. Hit that like button. We certainly would appreciate it. I'm Tyler Jones, and I will see you next time right here on Seattle Seahawks Today.